Today we're going to take a look at our second day of writing algebraic expressions. As we go to write algebraic expressions, we really want to pull these from our word problems. So up at the top, there are 3 steps that we're going to follow. We're going to highlight important information, we're going to write it down in words, and then we're going to fill in our words in with variables, numbers, and operations, okay? So we don't want to just get our expression, we want to know where that expression came from. So let's get started. We are going to learn how to write algebraic expressions from word problems. Let's look at the first example. It says, Hannah has 127 books in her collection that she is donating to her school. There are Z students at her school. If the books are split equally among the students, how many does each student get? Write your answer as an expression. So the first thing we want to do is we want to highlight important information. So Hannah's giving books. Well, we have to know how many books Hannah is giving. Okay, she's giving 127 books. There are Z students. That's important for us to know. And then also really important, if the books are split, that word split is going to be super helpful to us. And then lastly, I like to also just highlight the question to make sure I remember to answer that. All right, so we've highlighted the important information. We didn't need everything, but we did need some stuff there. So next we're going to take that and we're going to write it in words, and then we're going to fill it in. So we're going to kind of like summarize what was written here. We're going to try to fill it in with our words. So there are books that are going to be split amongst students. Okay, that's a gist of what's happening, okay? Then we're going to be able to take and fill in what we know about that. So, well, what do we know? How many books are there? There are 127 books. Okay, it says amongst students. We know there are Z students. So underneath students, I'm going to put a Z. And then obviously an expression has typically a number, it has a variable, and it also needs an operation. So here I'm going to look at that word split to help me know what's being done. If I'm splitting things equally, I am dividing. I'm going to look to see if Mrs. Dunn can insert division symbol. Voila. Okay, so there, 127 divided by Z, that's our answer. We don't need an actual number like 5 or 2. It's okay that it's an algebraic expression. We won't be able to solve it until we know how many students are at the school. And right now we don't know that, so that's okay. We are going to go ahead and answer in a sentence though. It says, how many does each student get? Oops. Each student gets 127 divided by Z books. And that's our answer. That's all we need for that one. Okay, so we highlight, we write it in words, we fill in what we know, which gives us our algebraic expression, and then we write it in a sentence. And we're done. Let's look at example 2. Sunny earns $12 an hour delivering cakes. She worked for X hours this week. How much money did Sunny earn this week? Write your answer as an expression. All right, highlight the important information. $12 an hour, pretty important. She worked X hours this week. How much money did she make this week? All right, we're going to take the words and we're going to put it in our text box. So $12 per hour, or an hour, or each hour. Okay, that's important. We know, okay, Sunny gets $12 An hour is X. She worked X hours. We now have to decide what is the operation that's happening. And sometimes they'll tell us specific words that help us, just like split told us division, or if we saw added to, or the total of, or the product, we would know what operation is being done. But here it doesn't specifically say that. So we have to think through, okay, if Sunny worked 1 hour, that'd be $12. If Sunny worked 2 hours, that'd be 24, or 12 plus 12, or 12 times 2. If she worked 3, that'd be 36, 12 times 3. If you notice, we're multiplying here. So the thing I want to point out to you is there are a lot of different ways that multiplication can be written. We do not want to write it like this, 12xx. That looks a little crazy. So you could use an asterisk if you're working on a computer. You could insert on paper, lots of times it's a dot. You could use parentheses like this. You could put it either around your 12 and your x. You could put it around just your 12. You could put it around just your x. It's totally up to you. That's an option, okay? Another way I like to write it is just to do them side by side. Remember, that was a new way. When things are side by side, they're multiplying. So that's a way that you could write it. I'm going to use the asterisk so you guys can see that too. Okay, all of those are possibilities. That's what can be written. So we took our highlighted, we turned it into words, we took those words and turned it into an expression. And then lastly, we want to answer how much did she make? Sunny earned 12x this week. And once we know how many hours Sunny actually worked, we would be able to figure out how much money she really made. Great work. Next one, example 3. There are C players on the Cougars hockey team. One of the players, Matthew, scored 2 more goals than the average per player. How many goals did Matthew score? Write your answer in an expression. All right. There are C players. It's important to know. Okay. Matthew scored 2 more. And how many did Matthew score? It's not letting me click in that. Why not? Super weird. Okay. I'm going to copy this and paste it. All right, the info here, it gives us, I really want to use the Matthew scored 2 more than players. Oops. Okay, now, really quickly, more than is a flip word. So I would immediately actually rewrite this and I would say players plus 2 because more than is obviously addition, but the players should come first. So he has the players plus he scored 2. So this is actually going to be C plus, I'm going to do lowercase c, C plus 2. Okay, and then for our sentence, Matthew scored C plus 2 goals. Last one, we're going to the dentist. The price of a dentist visit is $50. If the dentist fills any cavities, an additional charge of $100 per cavity gets added to the bill. If the dentist finds V cavities, what will the cost of the visit be? Write your answer in an expression. Okay, here's what's important for you here. This algebraic expression is helpful because realistically, every patient does not have the same amount of cavities, but they're going to charge the same. They have to kind of have something that works that they can bill everyone the same. So in the same way, I guess. So if I have 1 cavity, my bill is going to be different than someone who has 0 or someone who has 4 cavities, okay? So let's highlight the things that are important here, okay? A visit is $50. I'm going to highlight both of those things, okay? Cavities are an additional charge of $100 per cavity. That's important, okay? The dentist finds V cavities. That's important. What will the cost be? We want to know that. All right, here is what we know. So we have the visit, and then we possibly have an additional charge, $100 per cavity. So I'm just pulling out the words that are important to me, or that I can use. We know the visit is a flat rate of $50. So everybody that goes is going to have to pay $50. $100 per cavity, and cavity was a V. We had V cavities, okay? Per is actually going to tell us to multiply. So 100 times V, or 100V, up to you. And the thing we have to be careful of, or that we need to be sure is, so this is one charge, and then this is an additional charge. Additional means we're going to add it on. This is an add-on, an additional charge, okay? Then we want to, that's all we're doing. The thing that's really important is this has to stay together. The 100V has to stay together, because if I have 0 cavities, okay, that's $100 times 0. That means I have 0 additional charge. If I had 1 cavity, I'd have 100 times 1, and I'd have 100 extra dollars. If I had 2 cavities, it'd be $200. If I had 3 cavities, it'd be $300. If I had 4 cavities, it'd keep going. And so those two have to stay together. We cannot add the 100 and the 50 because the 100 belongs to the V. Okay, now we need a sentence. The cost of the visit will be $50 plus 100V. And that's it. That's what we're doing for our practice today. I do quickly want to show you what I would expect for IXL. So I'm actually going to go double screen here. We're going, we're going to be using IXL Y3, and I'm going to split screen these so that I can show you what I expect for your work. You're going to be working with a group. One person's going to bring it up on their screen. You're all going to write it on your page. So let's see. Vivian ate G out of 84 gumdrops. Choose the expression to show how many gumdrops she has left. Okay, so for this 8G, okay, so I would do total minus eaten, maybe, gumdrops. Okay, so in this case, if she ate 84 of the gumdrops, I would do 84 minus G. And then I would need that to be 84 minus G. I need the words, and then I also need my answer. Yeah, I got it. Okay, for the next one, let's see. Brett earned 13 extra credit points. Estelle earned fewer extra credit points than Brett. Choose the expression to know how many Estelle earned. Okay, so we're trying to find Estelle, and she earned E fewer than Brett. Okay, now fewer is a flip-flop word, so I really need Brett minus E. Okay, so Brett I know is 13, so I'm going to do 13 minus E. So the only difference here is I'm not highlighting. I'm taking the words and I'm putting them here, and then I'm turning that into an expression. So I do have 13 minus E there. There we go. So this is what your work and your answer should look like, and that's how you're doing it with your group in IXL.